What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you are not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, turn on your post notifications. We're gonna hop right into this haircut tutorial. We are gonna be doing a wave cut. As you can see, my man's got like 3 cowlicks as I'm putting them out here, so we are going to work around this and try to get these waves to just keep doing what they do. So he has been brushing, he has been ragging, he's been doing his job, he's been trying to stay consistent and brushing that crown area too. He's got a very difficult crown area, so we are attacking that right there with a 2-guard lever open, and we're just knocking this down. We're not trying to patch him or anything like that, and I am using the Wahl Cordless Legends. If you did not notice, we got the premium guards on there. I'm combing as I'm going through the hair with the grain, and we're just knocking this down all the way around before we hit these tapers on the temple area and on the nape. Now, I did do a 2-guard lever open around the crown area, and on the sides I do a number 2-guard lever closed and knocking this down. Now, I didn't want to go any shorter on the top than a 2 closed because I don't want to patch him. My client's hair is a little bit thinner than most waver clients, so I just had to make sure that I am working around his hair texture, his hair growth, his hair pattern, his wave pattern. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to your clients. And before my client had waves, honestly, we were giving him the Odell Beckham style faux hawk, mohawk fade, South of France, or whatever you want to call it. That's what we were doing before. And I was like, bro, you could get waves. And he's like, yeah, I had waves before. And so he's like, I'm gonna get them again. I was like, bet. We're gonna knock out these waves and we're gonna get you looking fresh. So right now I have those Los Cutted Babyliss FX trimmers. Got a 245 power clip on there. I'm brushing the hair, combing the hair, and making sure we get everything directionalized the way it needs to lay. I did do a sad face shape on the back to start my guideline before we zeroed out everything underneath that. Now, the next thing that we do is we're gonna go ahead and take that Wahl Legend, the cordless Legend, open up that lever all the way, create our first panel of hair to fade into. I close the lever all the way and I open it slightly, fade up, open it almost a halfway, fade up, open it 3/4 of the way, fade up, until we get this panel completely faded out. Now, this is going to be known as lever play. So if you watched any of my hair tutorials before or after this, when I refer to lever play, I am referring to that time period in between you fading a hair panel out. So when you create a hair panel and then you fade it out, and when you're fading it out, I do refer to that as lever play because you are adjusting the lever up and down to make sure you accommodate the fading that you're doing. So what you see here is I did the 1-guard lever open all the way, we faded that out, and then now I am taking that 1-guard, close it all the way, flick out, fade up, and you can see here that we are fading up this panel of hair. Now, I did skip the half guard because the Wahl Legend, if you do not know, it does open up more than your typical Magic Clip or your typical Wahl Senior or your Sterling Ford. The lever does extend a lot more than those clippers. So right now we are taking care of that. We're got the 1-guard. We're just working our way up the back of the nape to make sure that we meet up to the occipital bone, is where I'm gonna try to keep the rest of the bulk is up towards the occipital bone. So once we do the 1-guard, I will see little spots here and there that I want to detail with the half guard. So I do revert back to my half guard and I make sure that we get that straightened out and we detail there. So I am corner cutting, so you can see me using that very right side of the corner of the blades. I'm probably using like the 2-3 blades. I'm sorry, 2-3 teeth of the blade on either side, and we're just corner cutting, detailing with that half guard to make sure that we get a smooth blend. Now you can see here the bulk is still dark under that occipital bone, so I am gonna knock out with my 1.5 guard and my 2 guard and just try to soften that up a lot more. So after I did corner cutting with my half guard, I am going to corner cut with my 1 guard just to soften up little areas that I see and make sure that we get those dark spots knocked out, so we can just make sure we have a nice gradient blend on the back of his nape in this taper area. Now you want to make sure that you're brushing the hair constantly when you're cutting curly hair, because if you don't brush it, it'll curl up and you're going to have an uneven fade. So right here you can see I have that 1.5 guard. Lever is all the way open, and I'm kind of just scooping out. That way we don't dig too much and make another guideline or make another panel of hair to fade into. I'm just trying to work this area and just soften out this area with the corners of the blade. Now you can see here, brush, fade, brush, fade, brush, fade, and make sure that you're just maintaining a system. Make sure that you learn a system that works for you. This is the system that works for me for every type of hair, every texture of hair, every color of hair. It don't matter. This is the same process I will use for straight hair, for thick hair, coarse hair. So make sure you find a process to fade that'll accommodate your schedule, accommodate the time, the time length of your haircut. You want to make sure that you're just paying attention to these little things that'll help you out when you're behind the chair. Now this is a number 2 guard, lever open, and like I said, I'm just softening up this area. Some people might say that's good, but there's just little things that you see when you have that barber's eye that you want to straighten out. And I'm pretty sure after this haircut's done, I'm pretty sure somebody else will see little areas that they would have detailed a lot more. And some people may see this haircut and be like, it looks good where it's at. But you want to make sure that you try to just detail as much as you can. You don't want to leave a haircut undone, or dark spots or lines, because your clients are walking advertisements, like I always say in every haircut tutorial. So you want to make sure that you're doing the best to allow your client to leave with the best looking haircut they possibly can. That is our job as barbers, is to service our clients and make sure they are getting what they need. Now after this, we are going to attack this hairline. We are going to attack these the edge up on the back of the neck using those Lowe's cutted trimmers. You can see these are just easily etching at that line. So these trimmers, in my opinion, are the best trimmers that I have used thus far. I have used a lot of trimmers, and nothing hits like these. These got power. They are strong. They eat through the hair. They could bald out, they could edge up crispy. So I have no problems with these trimmers right here. And you can see Tune 45 Power Mat in the background as well. I do support Tune 45. They are a great company that is innovating the game, and I just truly like their products. They are very they help the process of being a barber. They make life easier behind the chair. I'm not over here fumbling or messing with cords. I like to use the color enhancement, which we will use later in this video as well. But they're just a great company that I support. So, but other than that, I will say we are edging up around that ear, getting it nice and crispy. I already created my 0 line, and we balled it out under that 0 line with the trimmers. Now I do make like a rainbow shape in that taper area. This is going to be a high taper, just for the simple fact of we are going to make this look as gradient as possible. So it's going to be a high taper. We're going to be doing the vertical bar edge up and the front edge up, and you can see the edge up area is struggling a little bit, and we are going to take care of that with some color enhancement and make sure my boy leaves crispy up the chair. But I did make a panel of hair, lever open all the way, and then we close the lever, open to slightly fade up, open to slightly fade up. And in this area, because it's such a tight area to blend, we are going to be doing a lot of corner cutting, using those first 2-3 teeth of the blade to make sure that we get a smooth transition. You want to make sure that you're playing with that lever. There's going to be dark spots here and there that you have to actually play with that lever to make sure you get out. And you're going to revert, back to different guards. You're going to be detailing. But right here we have that number 1 guard, lever open, create a panel of hair to fade into. After we do that, close the lever all the way, open it slightly, and we're just going to start attacking that area and getting it faded out. So you can see here, close the lever, and we're just going to start etching at that line, working our way up the side of the temple. Now I want to say that these Wahl Legends, they cut phenomenally. I love them. I'm not going to trade these clippers. I thoroughly am pleased with this product. A lot of people have their opinions, but in my opinion, using these, they eat through hair. They've put out some blurry blends, and you'll see in this video at the end the blend I get. They are powerful, they're lightweight, they're not going to work at your wrist. I know some people talk smack about the Andis Masters, the old seniors, and how heavy they were. Everybody has their opinion. People are like, people got soft and they can't use, the old clippers. But, you want to make sure you're taking care of your wrists, your back. These are things that are going to be, like, if you plan on being in the barber game for a long time, you want to make things easier for yourself. So when you're cutting hair behind the chair, use the chair. Pump on that lever to make sure the chair gets all the way up to a height that works comfortably for you, so you're not bending over, breaking your back trying to do things. Find tools that'll make life easier. This is a long-term game. If you find this to be your career, so make sure that you are doing little things that'll help you in the long run. But right here, got the number 2 guard, lever playing. We're just knocking out this fade, this taper on the temple side of the head. And what we do to the right side, we will do to the left side. So once we're done with this, I will time lapse the opposite side. And but before I do that, we're detailing here. You can see me pulling the clipper off the ridge of the head because I don't want to dig into that area. I don't want to create more guidelines once we get up to that 2 guard. I'm just trying to blend into the bulk. So you can see me directionalizing the hair with the brush, just using corner work just to get this area softened up. Now you will see, different things. What I like to do when I'm recording these tutorials is I'll do the haircut and then I'll peek into the camera to see different areas that are dark that my eye won't catch, because a lot of times when you go to take that picture at the end of the haircut or you're recording a video, you will see areas that you're like, man, I could have got that a lot smoother than what I did. So while I'm doing these tutorials, I do peek into the camera just to see little areas that I may have missed that the camera does pick up. Now once we do all the fade work, I am going to go with the shaver, go around the ear, get it completely balled out around that ear where we did the edge up. So what we did to the right side, we will do the exact same thing to the left side. So you can see these waves. He is dipping. My boy's dipping. So we got this high taper on the opposite side. And once we brushed all the hair out and everything, it kind of darkened up those cowlick areas where it looks a little sparse, because just some areas needed to be brushed in the right direction, and the hair needed to lay down where it properly should be laying down, where it naturally wants to lay down. But you can see right here we are getting to the edge up portion. I'm throwing some hair spritz on just to lay his hair down, just to get the hairs to lay in place where I want them to before we attack this edge up. And on the corners of his edge up, I am just using an imaginary line where the hair should lay. There is a little bit of vellus hair there that you can see that is being edged up, but for the most part I'm shooting from the hip right here with this edge up and just trying to create something that is not seen, and that's something as barbers you have to visualize what you want the haircut to look like. You have to visualize the haircut before you even get started. And this is what we're doing here, is we're creating an edge up for my client here and making sure he leaves crispy. So we got the taper knocked out, we're knocking this edge up out. I do start from the middle, make a cut, go to the corner, make a cut, and I connect the dots in between those 2 points to make sure that we do have some symmetry for both sides. I do the same thing I do to the left side, do to the right side. And you want to make sure you're maintaining some reference points. So you can see here at the corner of his eyeball, if you create a straight line up where to the corner of his edge up on the top, that's the reference point I'm using, is that corner of his eye. That's how far I'm bringing that edge up out on the sides. And by creating reference points, this just helps you to maintain symmetry with your cut. It helps you to find little cheat codes here and there that'll help the process and help you to get the cut done a lot quicker, and just make sure that everything is lined up perfectly. Now I am using a black ice magic pencil. This is the white color. I do use the white color for lighter complected individuals. For darker complected individuals, I do use the nude color. It just works out better. It's not as drastic. I'm not going to use the white colored pencil on a darker complected person because it's going to be too much of a highlight for that edge up. And if I do use a nude color on somebody who is lighter complected, you're not going to be able to really see the highlight. It's just going to look weird. But I am using the white colored pencil on my client here. We are using 245 no drip. You can see I got that Sean Cuts hair color card in there, just making life easy with the 90-degree angles, the rounds, so you can get that C cup nice and crispy if you got a client that's rocking a C cup. But we're just knocking out this color enhancement here. You just want to make sure that you are pulling that card away so you can see the entire picture. make sure that you're not just keeping that card there, because you want to see and visualize how it's going to look. So we are adding, you know, a little bit of hair fibers on top of it to just give it a more natural look. You know, I know not every client's going to be rocking with enhancements, you know, not every client's going to not want that service, but for this video specifically, I am just showing you guys how I use that. I use that 245 Sean Cuts Hair color card as a barrier and spray those color enhancements, and then we're going to go over that magic pencil with the trimmer and etch away at that line, at that barber pencil. Now the blade is going to scrape away at that barber pencil and make sure that we blend it into the skin. Well, blend it in that area and just disperse that colored pencil, and then it'll highlight the edge up. So it's just creating some contrast from your edge up to the actual skin tone on your client. Now after we do that, we are taking that 245 triple cartridge. This is the most exposed cartridge for the razor, and we're just knocking out the rest of this barber magic pencil. Now, you know, all this enhancement, you know, the game's done changed since, you know, I was getting haircuts as a kid. I never heard of color enhancements when I was a kid, but nowadays everybody wants to be crispy. So, you know, you could hate it or you could love it. You could use them or you don't have to use them, but that is the beauty of barbering, is that this is an art. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. If you don't like it, you don't have to like it. If you do like it, you know, by all means use it. You know, if your clients are wanting it, if they, you know, are paying for it, by all means get your bag. But right here we're freehanding, got the blade closed, and I'm just freehanding little hairs that I see to knock this down and get it as smooth as possible. But you can see this cut is coming out crispy, it is blurry, and I just love how this cut came out. I appreciate my client for letting me film this video. We're throwing on some oil sheen here, and after I do this, I will take a neck strip and I am going to basically buff at that oil that we put on there. This kind of just picks up those random hairs that are still straggling and lay down those lay down other hairs that need to be laid down. So you're doing three things at once, and it also, you know, helps to disperse the oil sheen. But this is the before of the haircut. You know, this is what we were working with, and I just appreciate everybody for sticking through this entire video. But we will unveil that after, right here. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section of the cut, but here is the after of the haircut. I appreciate everybody for tuning into this video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, turn on your post notifications, give this video a like. It helps with the algorithm of the channel. But there is the cut. My boy's dipping, blurry and crispy all at the same time. Like I said, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, God bless.